So you'll see here that you'll always get sent an email with a Word document attachment, and it will have all of the YouTube links. Okay, that's just our Plan B backup. Some of you may not be able to get onto Coursesites or be having difficulty or be taking 20 minutes to download our webcast recording, so we're stopping that now, and this is going to be our more proactive solution. So when you get those, make sure that you start at the very beginning and follow all of the steps related to that week. So here I've just recorded our previous recording bite to make sure that you've downloaded the relevant documents that you've needed tonight, and that's done and paused to enable you to go and print those out and physically have them ready so you can kinesthetically or through the use of touch and writing on actual bits of paper, work through and make the most of understanding your learning. So we'll go now to the Coursesites website. So this is it here on the home page. So you will have logged on here. Always make sure that you check the announcements. So I'll have the new webcast link for you on there. So let's have a little look at that. You can double click it from the home page. Okay, that was the link there for tonight. Just sent the link to the next Illuminate session. Also, there was a link there to the 2-minute quiz that was needed for week 2, so we could start to look at our different learning styles there. Another way you can access the announcements is in your left-hand menu bar there, and it brings you straight back up to the same page. Okay, so always as housekeeping, be on top of your announcements. Any recorded lectures now are going to be posted by Saturday evening. So when we've got the webcast on the Monday, it's going to be a tutorial now as opposed to formal lectures. The webcast system, Illuminate, really isn't effectively and reliably supporting that function. So we'll now go to the YouTube clips of those. Coming down now into week 2. You can see here where I've attached all of the files, and there is element 1 that's already been recorded for YouTube for you. Its duration there is 19 minutes 33. So we'll leave that as it is and then go into recording the other elements. So on your Word document, I'll now just element 1, on Coursesites. Okay, so you'll see that there. So we'll really then start from element 2 tonight. Oops. Okay, so just flicking back there then to Blackboard. Yeah, so you can see I've actually put that in blue typing. The black typing above it, release 1 always refers to the current release of the unit of competency. I've grabbed that from training.gov.au and left it there for you. But best practice is for you to be able to independently go to that website, www.training.gov.au, and work through and be able to enter the code and download the current version, which means you'll have to deselect that superseded document. Now you'll see here that there's some titles in black this week. We'll come back to that actually, but there's a performance criterion in there that talks about accessing learning resources. So this is just samples here in week 2 of some learning resources that are free resources to RTOs from what's called flexible learning toolboxes, and I'll actually go into that website for you and show you. So it isn't that you need to be going through each of these this week. It would take you hours and hours. It was just so you could appreciate some examples of some of the learning resources. All you'll need to do is look at anything under week 2 that is titled in blue. You'll want to go through and if you haven't from the webcast already, just actually go through and download those documents. So just to give you an example, you'll put those documents there into where last week you saved those files. So I actually put them under my documents. I created a TAE 40110 portfolio. Now the reference number that you're giving it is your invoice number. So we're naming that. I don't remember the codes from the invoices. It could be something like the first 3 letters of your surname and then the next 3 letters of your first name and possibly your postcode or something to that effect. So whatever's there on your invoice, you would name as your portfolio. If that's a bit of a difficulty right now, just do it as your name. Your full name. Okay. So that's what we built last week, where we wanted week 1, 2, 3 and 4 together. Week 5 is the delivery module, and then you've got your electives to complete the 10 modules, a resources folder and a recognized prior learning folder. So if you haven't yet, please create that in either your documents or your desktop. And within the electives, just create 3 subfolders and name them with your elective code. I know this is revision from last week, but it is just good housekeeping. So the reason that I've brought that up now, though, is so when you're actually downloading these documents, you can place them in the correct folder. So all of these documents, some of them would actually go into your week 2 folder and some of them will go into your resources. You know, it's your own file management. You know, perhaps you just want to throw them all into week 2. That might be easier for you. But the questionnaire evidence has definitely got to go into week 2 for your assessor. Your PowerPoint notes week 2 might go into your resources, however you want to access it. Okay, but the evidence that we need is this document here, the questionnaire, 2 of your training assessment strategies, your risk management form, and I actually don't have it up here yet, so I'll have to get it up here. It's your learning program, so I'll make sure that that's updated. And all of those documents need to go there into week 2.